I'm Zach.
I'm Maxwell.
And this is Car Chronicles.
And today we have the 2007 Mercedes-Benz E350 4matic. Woo! So a little bit about styling on this car. It's definitely conservative, being a 2007 Mercedes, but I don't think it really looks dated much. It's aged really well. But this one is the sport package, so you have these sport wheels, which I think look really nice, and then you got a little bit of sport styling on the front fascia and stuff. So overall, I think the sport package adds a really cool flavor to the car, if I do say so.
So coming along the side, it's pretty standard looking. We have these lines that come right through here, goes all the way, wraps all the way around the car. Got classic, the dual exhaust.
Yeah, the Sport Edition has these dual exhausts. That's one way you can distinguish it from the regular ones, so those look really cool.
And as you can see, it's the 4matic. The back of this car is really kind of standard looking for a Mercedes. It comes out a little bit more than the newer sedans, but you know, it's pretty standard back end.
Overall looks really good. Alright, so this car has a 3.5 liter V6 making 268 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque.
Let's go ahead and rev up the old 6-banger. So not a bad sound at all.
Alright, so we're about to take it on the road, but first things first.
Seat belts.
Great call. Alright, so a few things to note when you first set off in this car is you probably want to not hit the fence, so that's a good call. But
always when you start this car, don't hit the fence.
Avoid that at all times. So it has comfort and sport mode. It defaults to comfort mode, which we're in right now, which starts you in second gear, and it sort of makes for a smoother experience, which is what most people buying this car want.
Which is what Mercedes is known for, is that sweet.
This really isn't a performance car. It's more a luxury cruiser, so we're still gonna see how it accelerates, but we'll sort of assess this more from that perspective.
So as always, we're going to assess this car classical Car Chronicles style.
The nice CCC.
The great CCC. We're going to go ahead and take it on some back roads, see how it handles the old twists and turns, do some acceleration, do some braking, just talk about styling, talk about visibility, how it rides, all of that good stuff.
So visibility in this car is actually really good. You got a really nice wide windshield, so you can see pretty well out of the front. That's always good.
And the hood is kind of short.
Yeah, the hood sort of slopes down, so that's good. All you can see is the nice Mercedes emblem, which is always awesome. View out of the sides is great. You got these nice mirrors, which all cars have, I guess. But, you know, everything in here is pretty nice. And view out of the back is good, unless you have the rear sunshade up, which you can still see with it up, but I mean, that's a cool touch to have a rear sunshade, so who needs to see out the back anyway? Alright, so as always, we do a little braking test, so
he always tries to catch me off guard, which is not gonna happen.
You're right, it's not gonna.
Whoa! Okay. Good call.
Brakes are pretty good.
Brakes are really nice, actually. How fast were we going? About 30?
Yeah, we were going about 30, so no biggie.
Those were pretty good brakes.
Enough to catch you off guard, as you can see.
And I was holding on, dang. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and talk a little bit about the you know, interior, the styling, the center console. So you got this eject button right here, which is really cool. Anytime you have a noisy passenger, you just hit that, shoots them right out the top.
Which, if you keep talking, Zach, we may have to use that.
We'll see you later.
But being a 2007, I mean, obviously it's a little dated. The infotainment, I'm not even going to touch it because it's we don't even use it, honestly. We just use it to listen to music. But it's a little dated, but it's still a really nice car. The interior's really good. Really
everything's
quality.
really well made, as you can see. We got leather, real wood, aluminum trim going around.
You got your heated seats.
You have the seat adjusters right on the door, as always, and you know, the nicer
I will say,
Mercedes.
one thing we mentioned on an earlier Mercedes I reviewed is the turning signal scam, where this one has it. You want to go for the cruise control
for some reason,
signal, and
in the early 2000s, the Mercedes decided to
thought it would be a good idea
throw
to
everyone off.
snake us.
So they went ahead and put the turn signal way down below the wheel, and the cruise control is right where the turning signal, right where you think it would be.
Yeah.
So anytime you go to make a left turn, you're gonna be decelerating.
But it's really not a big deal. Once you drive the car for a little while, you get used to it. Which sort of sucks though, because once you get back in a regular car, you seem like an idiot because you're reaching down low for the turning signal. But overall, this car has a really good interior, really high quality. Everything's really well made.
Everything feels really nice. Everything looks really nice. And
another thing to note is this car is a really good deal. This is my dad's car, so thank you, Dad, for letting us review this.
Shout out to Maxwell's dad.
My dad got this car for like $10,000-$11,000, which, you know, most people see a Mercedes roll up and they're like, oh my gosh, you know, that's so much money and I could never afford one. But I mean, $10,000, that's cheaper than like the cheapest piece of crap economy car that you can buy new today. So it's really a lot of car for the money, so that's always cool.
Maxwell has a pretty neat story about the four-wheel drive in this ride.
Oh yeah, you know, it's not your typical four-wheel drive system. These German all-wheel drive systems are really good. They're engineered very well, and they do really well in the snow. We were driving last winter, actually, in the snow, down to a town where we live, and it was snowing pretty hard. You know, people were going off the road, getting stuck everywhere. Trucks were having trouble going.
Big old diesel power.
We were literally just going by everybody, and it was really cool. Alright, so we're approaching where we like to do our little acceleration, so we're going to go ahead and put the car in sport mode, make sure it's in first gear, make sure nobody's coming. We'll go ahead and give it the beans.
Good beans. That's a really good engine sound for a, you know, decade-old ride. The engine sounds really nice. It's sweet, sweet six-banger.
It's quick.
And we got some pretty good speed in that short amount of time.
Maybe 5 miles an hour.
5.5.
But this car is not about speed and handling. But if you need to, it's there. It's got enough power to merge into traffic. But it was pretty good, and it sounds good too.
If you're doing a review maybe on a car, it's good for that.
Yeah,
too.
True. Another cool thing to note though is this car does have like a manual shift mode over here on this gear select. To downshift you pull it towards you, and to upshift you push it away from you. It's fine to use. It's definitely not paddle shifters or anything like that, but I'm just gonna put it back in automatic mode. You just hold it up and we'll see how this thing handles a little bit. I'm not gonna push it too hard because it's definitely not a sports car, but we just gotta get a feel for it.
Plus it's a little cold outside. The roads might not be what they are.
Might not be griptimal grip.
Exactly
Optimal grip, as I like to say.
Griptimus Prime.
Griptimus Prime. So it's not bad. I mean, it honestly doesn't roll that much because it's got the sport suspension.
There's a little bit of lean coming out of the corners.
You can definitely feel that it's a heavier car. This thing weighs about 3,900 pounds. I think 3,800 pounds. But you know, again, it wasn't built to be a sports car. So for what it is, it's good. And
it's a really smooth ride too.
It is. That is one thing. Nothing rattles in here. It's very luxurious. Goes over the bumps very well.
Luxury cruiser.
Another thing about handling, the steering is actually really good. It's very heavy. I'm not really sure if that's how it was for this generation E-Class or if it's just because it's the Sport or what, but the steering is very heavy, which is nice. You always want heavy steering in a sporty car, and you get a little bit of communication through the wheel. It's not bad. I really like the steering overall. So another thing, these seats really keep you from flying out the door.
As I always say.
As I always try to avoid that flying out the door placement.
Unless, of course, you hit the old eject button, which you can see right
here. Zach, I've had enough. Eject. Seats are decent. They hug you in pretty well.
There's actually kind of a weird thing right here on the locking and unlocking. You would never expect it to be in the center stack.
Yeah, it's a little embarrassing, but it's one of those things, like, I drive this car a good amount, and sometimes I'm still searching how to unlock the car when people are, like, outside. I'm like, where is it, where is it? And then I'm like, ah, crap, it's right there. So, one thing, this car is really quiet except for the tires. When my dad got this car, they put on brand new tires, but there's some cheapo tire that aren't very good.
They're no Michelin, man.
They're no Michelin Pilot Sport Super AS2 Cup compound tires.
Oh my goodness.
So they make a little bit of noise, but that's about the only thing as far as refinement that lacks, and it's not really the car's fault. Yeah. So final thoughts. It's a really nice car to drive.
It's a really nice car to be a passenger in as well, if I do say so myself.
It's, you know, it's not a sports car, but it's pretty fast for what it is.
Sounds really nice.
Sounds good. Steering's nice, good visibility, and it's just a really luxurious and nice car to drive.
Comfortable, smooth. Yeah. And like you said, one of the coolest things is the price. Yeah. Very affordable.
I think new this thing was around 60,000, which is like 70,000 of today's money, and you can get it for like 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, and really good quality. You can't. It's not a broken down one that you get.
Yeah.
It's been top of the line.
Pretty reliable. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope you really liked it.
I hope you loved it. You know what?
I hope you love me. Okay.
We're signing off. See you guys in the next vid.
See you later. I'm a little hungry, actually. Dinner date. I'm just kidding. Fine.
Breakfast date.
Lunch date.